My name's Gemson. This is Thorpe Lea Fishery. Welcome to another smart carping fishing adventure. The swim we've chosen today is peg 16 and 17. It's a lovely double peg, nice and wide, lots of space for us to work and fish in. For many of you who fish Thorpe Lea regularly, you'll know this swim as the beach. We've chosen to fish at 22.5 wraps, which is a spot approximately 5 foot deep, where in recent times a fair few carp have been caught from. It's a long way, and you need some quality equipment to enable you to reach that. Let's have a little look at the hardware I'm using today to enable me to hit those long range spots. The rods we're using today are Gray's 3.25 test curve 50mm ringed casting rods. They're absolutely superb for getting our rigs at the range we're at today. Coupled to those, I'm using the Penn Affinity 7000 limited edition reels, loaded with Berkeley 12-pound line. The bobbins are the new JRC light curves, and on the bobbins I've got additional weights to help cope with the conditions I'm facing. The JRC alarms come with a remote sounder and are fully adjustable so that I can set them to cope with strong winds or the waves if the conditions out there change. All of this setup is positioned on Chubb stainless light bank sticks with 3 rod adjustable buzzer bars and stabilizers to keep the whole setup stable so that I can read bites accurately. Right, well it's, as you can see, it's getting pretty dark now. Time's probably about 4:30, 4:45. We reset the rods literally just 10 minutes ago, bringing them in, checking them over, making sure the hooks were sharp, and reposition them out on the spot. At that time, I spotted 4 spods of Manila boilies, some Manila 4mm and 2.3mm pellets with some Manila goo over the top. And 10 minutes later, the rod was away. It's given me a good fight at range. It's taken a fair bit of line off me. I've got my marker back on the reel now, so I'm starting to gain line on it. I'm a little bit concerned that there's a small amount of silkweed out there, so I'm playing the fish with the rod very, very high, trying to make sure the line gets over the top of the gravel bar that's out there, and to try and keep the carp just off the bottom the best I can. It's a good idea to take any sharp jewellery off. We don't want to hurt the fish. The sling and the cradle has already been wetted down. A little bit of fish care. Now we have it. A beautiful winter Thorpe Lea common carp. Not the biggest fish in the lake, but still put a nice bend in the rod and very, very satisfying. She's a beauty. Let's see how much she weighs. Lucky to be just over a double. Let's get the Rubens out, check how big it is. We've got some photographs now. Put him back and try and catch another one. Ooh, she's lively. There we go, 10.5 pounds. Like I say, not the biggest, but it's still a winter carp. Let's put her back in the lake. Okay, so the rig I'm using today is quite a simple helicopter rig. The reason I've chosen a helicopter rig is I'm casting at range and I'm possibly fishing over a little bit of silkweed. So I wanted a rig that not only flies very, very well because of the range I'm at, but also doesn't tangle during the flight, and the helicopter gives me that. So the rig is quite simple. A length of quarter cable, lead core, spliced with small loops in each end. 2 solar lead core beads with a quarter quick change swivel in the middle of them, an anti-tangle sleeve, a short amount of quarter end trap stiff, tied to a size 6 Gardner strain podded chod hook. A whittled down pineapple and then butyric acid sticky baits pop up is whittled to give me a critically balanced rig so it drops slowly and settles on top of any bottom debris. At the very far end of the rig, I've got a helicopter sleeve, a quick change connector and a 3.5 ounce casting distance lead. This rig gives me a lot of confidence, it fires out well, and as you've seen earlier on, we've bagged a fair number of fish on it already. So even though the water is cold here at Thorpe Lea, the fish are still active, they're swimming around. And if they're swimming around, they're burning energy. And if they're burning energy, they will be looking to feed to replace that energy that they've burnt. With that in mind, we need to create an attractive SPOD mix that will bring the fish into the swim looking for food, but won't fill them up too quickly, so they're hunting for food morsels, and hopefully they'll pick up our bait. What I'll be using is a small amount of 12mm manila boilies, some 4mm manila pellets, some 2.3mm manila pellets which will break down quickly in the cold water and keep the fish hunting for food, some manila active cloud mix which will give a lovely cloud in the water, if I can open it up. And finally, some manila cloud liquid. This glues everything up nicely together. Make sure you shake it up because a lot of debris sits in the bottom. Give it a glug and stir it all round. Now don't make too much, just enough for your spotting session. Then if you need some more, make some more when you need it. So your mix will, when it's blended together, look like this. The manila cloud and the manila active powder mix will hang in the water and keep fish hunting for food for a long time on your spots. Let's go and spot it out into the lake. Good morning. This is our last morning here. Yesterday we suffered with a real temperature drop. Everything around us froze solid. The water temperature dropped from 6.5 degrees C right down to 3.7. It was cold. The fish just switched off like they always do as the water temperature plummets. Yesterday though, the temperature picked up. We had a lot of rain and we're hoping with the water temperature now hitting 4.7 degrees C that the fish will be up for a bite again. In our last few hours, we're going to be scratching around, trying everything we know, boosting our baits, trimming them down, changing the colours, but keep working to try and catch that last winter fish. Okay, so all too quickly, another 48-hour winter carping session has come to a close. We've caught a fair few fish and we've really had some great time here at Thorpe Lea Fishery. Let's get the rods in, load the tackle into the van and plan our next winter carping adventure. There we go. This really was the last chance saloon carp. Everything's been packed away. The cameraman had his tripod packed and the camera packed. The rods were laying on the floor and it rattled off with this beautiful 14.5 pound mirror here at Thorpe Lea. It just goes to show, if you put the effort in, if you try hard, you can catch carp in the coldest of weathers. Let's put this beauty back. Well, we've had a fantastic session here at Thorpe Lea Fishery. You can see the van is packed, it's time to go. We've been through some different weather conditions, nice and mild when we started, freezing cold, freezing everything on the bank midway through and warmed up at the end. We managed to bag 7 fish in the end, and for me it just goes to show that if you put the effort in, if you work hard, you can enjoy good carp fishing all year round. Don't give up. Get out there fishing, enjoy your sport. I'll catch you next time on Smart Carping's Fishing Adventures.